way, please. Excuse me, ma'am. We're a little rushed just now. Do you mind if this young lady shares your table?
Not at all. Sit right down, my dear.
Thank you. And thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Better sit over there, dear.
Were you expecting someone else?
No, we weren't expecting anyone else. But it's been a long time since anyone as young and pretty as you has sat on Albert's lap.
Albert?
My husband. I bet you like that, you rascal.
Well, I'm afraid I left something back in my compartment. I better go and get it.
Oh, please don't go. Albert isn't very talkative. And supper's so much more fun when you have someone to pass the time of day with.
Well, I guess I can pick it up later.
You know, usually me and Albert sit on the same side of the table. But he just can't ride forward on a train.
Oh, well, why didn't you sit over here?
I can't ride backwards. I won't need that. We just want 2 teas.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll have a chicken sandwich.
1 chicken sandwich.
And a glass of milk, please.
Glass of milk. Then it's 1 tea, right?
No, 2 teas. 1 for me and 1 for Albert.
Albert?
He never drinks anything but tea on the train.
Oh. Lemon or cream?
Just plain.
Just plain. Yes, sir. I beg your pardon.
Do you mind?
Oh, I don't mind. It was this lady's table. Maybe you should...
Emily!
Tom, I haven't seen you for an awfully long time.
Oh, I've been away to college. Well, what are you doing on the train, Emily?
Me and Albert just decided to take a little trip.
Albert? Oh, yes, your husband. Well, hello, Albert. How have you been?
We got pretty far this trip. Almost 2 stations before Mr. Green got on the train to take us back. He always spoils our fun, doesn't he?
Mr. Green is the man who runs the home where Emily and her husband here live. They like to take little trips now and then.
Oh, well, I understand.
Well, speak of the devil.
You've been a very naughty girl, Emily. Tom, how are you, my boy?
I'm fine, Mr. Green.
She led us a merry chase this time. Come along, Emily. You've got to go back to your room where I can keep my eye on you.
I guess there's no use arguing with you. Come, Albert. It's been pleasant visiting with you. Have a nice trip, my dear.
Well, thank you, Emily. And, bye, Albert.
Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Emily.
We'll be dropping in on you and the folks real soon.
They probably will, too.
Your friend Emily's quite a character.
Yeah, she sure is. But she treats Albert a lot better than most of us treat each other while we're still here.
Well, she did seem pretty happy. You know, I bet I could get an interesting article out of a woman like that.
Oh, are you a writer?
Yes, magazine articles mostly. I've recently done quite a few on the importance of hygiene in the home.
Well, that sounds like a nice, clean-cut type of work.
Well, of course, it isn't always as cheerful as you make it sound. I've probably spent more time among the poor people than a social worker.
Well, what's wrong with being around poor people?
Look, just because you happen to come from a poor family doesn't
What
mean
makes you think I come from a poor family?
But I didn't mean you. I meant just anyone. I'm sorry you're so sensitive about it.
Well, I've got nothing to be sensitive about. Why, my parents are extremely wealthy. I was raised in the lap of luxury.
Well, you sound like you were quite a spoiled child.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was almost impossible to avoid, being an only child.
Oh, no brothers and sisters?
No one, just Fräulein and me.
Fräulein?
My governess. How tiny I must have looked in that large house. But I've overcome it, I think. My background, I mean. I just want to be known as a down-to-earth sort of person. I don't want people to know me for what I've got, but for what I am.
Just what are you?
Oh, I'm an animal husbandman. Graduate of Washington State, you know. This blueprint that I have here, it's a plan for a chicken incubator that I'm going to build.
Ooh, that looks like quite a lot of hard work for someone who's always been as filthy rich as you.
Why do you have to put it that way? Filthy rich?
Oh, now look, why don't you make up your mind what you're mad at, rich people or poor people?
I'm not mad at anybody. I think you make too much of the whole thing. What's so all important about the state of your pocketbook? People are people, whether they're rich or poor, aren't they?
Well, who says they're not?
Trouble with you is you just don't like people.
I don't like people. I love people. I think they're wonderful. At least I always have, up to now.
Now, look.